The St. Patrick's Day event has returned to Forge of Empires, and you'll have to make a choice on just how much you want to play the minigame. Let me explain. The minigame of this event is one that requires a fair bit of babysitting if you want to maximize your progress in the grand prizes and get the main event building, eternal market fragments, etc. In other words, it takes a lot of time. So instead, you can choose to play the event less and get more of some different rewards, but you also forego the main event building and other progress-focused rewards. The main event building of this event is the 4x5 Celtic Goldsmith. It provides a whole lot of army boosts for your city, especially attacking armies in the battlegrounds. You'll also get an average of 132 forge points per day, and for the first time ever, a rare historical allies slot. You'll need to play the minigame a decent amount to get it, but if you want to push even further, you can also get a series of upgrades for the Celtic Farmstead from 2022, which will give it army boosts for attacking armies, especially in guild battlegrounds, and some more goods and forge points. If you don't want to put in as much work in this event, I'd like you to meet the Clover Keep Ruin. Not only is it roadless, not only is it 4x4, but it is also a pretty valuable building. It gives you tons of army boosts, quantum coins and supplies at the start of each incursion, 80 forge points, and fragments of finished special and finished goods items. The best part, I'd estimate most players being able to get 4 of these buildings across the course of the event. If you want even better news, you can win a level 2 Clover Keep Ruin for free from this video's giveaway. That's right, this video was produced in collaboration with InnoGames, so check out the description to enter into a giveaway for that level 2 Clover Keep Ruin. The giveaway will end in 2 weeks after this video goes live, so don't forget to enter. One of the other new buildings you can get in this event and from the main building over time is the Blueberry Field, which gives significant amounts of defending army boosts and even next stage units. When you ascend it, you'll even get some units for the start of Quantum Incursions. The other side building in this event is the Whispering Well, which only provides goods. If you ascend it, it will provide quantum goods too, and a boost to quantum coins and supplies for 30 days. Regardless of which buildings you like more in this event, you will have to play the minigame at least a little bit to get them. It's the same minigame as before, so if you've not played it yet, here is a brief overview. On the right side of the screen, you've got buildings that provide goods, and you need to click them to start productions that pile up on this side of the screen. You can use the ship to collect these productions and bring them to the festival on the left side of the screen, which then converts them into shamrocks, which you can use to level the various buildings higher to produce more goods to produce more shamrocks. You can also use pots of gold, which you get from the event quests, in order to buy and upgrade managers that start the productions for you. As you play, you complete tasks, which give you progress towards the grand prizes. Collect enough shamrocks and you can move on to the next town. This gives you the option to open rewards boxes using pots of gold. Then you can move on to the next town and start the whole thing over again. If it sounds complicated, don't worry, it's really not. Basically, you just buy the managers and wait around a while. This event also has some boosters. You'll start with one of each and can get more from the mini challenges. The Swift Sham savings can reduce the cost of moving to the next town from 8.4 quadrillion to 4.2 quadrillion shamrocks. It's handy to cut some time off the end of the town, so use them to get more towns in and to help better match your completion of the towns to your real-life availability. The Quick Promotion Booster allows you to upgrade your managers 1 level for free. You generally want to use these on the most expensive manager levels to save your pots of gold. However, these are also quite useful in the mini challenges to complete quests. The Time Warp Booster lets you skip 2 hours ahead for free instead of paying 400 pots of gold. You may feel tempted to use these during the long waiting times of this event, but I highly recommend you wait instead to use these in the mini challenges to complete the quests much more cheaply and get some nice rewards from the quest lines. In the minigame though, the majority of the rewards come from the grand prizes and those reward boxes at the end of towns. For the grand prizes, 1 task completed in the minigame is 1 progress. Each town can net you just over 30 tasks with the recommended task lists in my event spreadsheet, depending on your strategy. Some notable thresholds include 325 for the rare Alexander level 1 ally, 400 for the rare Arminius level 1 ally, 475 to get the eternal market fragments from the grand prizes, 500 to be guaranteed a fully leveled Celtic Goldsmith. However, it is possible to complete it with far fewer tasks, we'll talk about that later, and you'll have to reach 575 tasks for all the new upgrades for the Celtic Farmstead. Besides grand prizes, you can also get some nice rewards from the boxes at the end of each town. The first reward box is free, then they get progressively more expensive until you open 6, at which point you get a selection kit for the Clover Keep Ruins and the costs reset a bit. You can also buy all the boxes at once for a discounted price. If you want one of the specific rewards and don't care about the Clover Keep Ruin, open the boxes individually. However, if you do want the ruin, open boxes using the discount to save some pots of gold. Each slot of the rewards has different options that you can receive, but the order you receive those rewards is random. The odds for each reward were determined via a sample of over 5,000 sets of boxes. The first slot can contain some consumables like finished supply items and store building kits. The second box can contain the new side buildings from this event, as well as a chance to get an upgrade kit for the main building. This is important for later, so remember it. The third box can contain upgrades and kits for the Celtic Tavern, as well as the Epic 2025 St. Patrick's Day kit, which contains tons of old buildings from this event. The fourth box contains one of a dozen Ascended upgrades for recent side buildings from events. The fifth box contains Army Boost consumables for the Guild Battlegrounds or Quantum Incursions. And lastly, the sixth box contains kits for the Druid Hut or Celtic Farmstead's Basic Selection Kit. If you're still here after all the information we've been through, congratulations, we're only halfway through, but we're at the best part. I've got 5 strategies for you in this event, each one focusing on different rewards, and each with different requirements of time spent playing the minigame. We'll start with what I think is the easiest and work our way up. The first is the Easy Clovers strategy. All you get are 5 Clover Keep Ruins kits, which lets you get 2 of the level 2s. You do 3 towns as cheaply as possible with only level 1 managers, and open all the boxes after each, as well as the second set of boxes after 2 of the towns. The hardest part of the strategy is having to force yourself to wait for enough pots of gold before opening chests. Next, I call this one the Cheap Goldsmith. It's for those of you who want the main building, a handful of Clover Keep Ruins, but don't want to spend a lot of time playing the event. You only need to do 10 towns across the entire event, and have a 55% chance at getting the Goldsmith. Why only 55%? Well, you need to reach level 9 for that Goldsmith. 2 kits come from the event quests, and 5 come from the grand prizes through 300 tasks. The next is at 425 tasks, and the final one at 500 tasks. Instead of playing that many towns though, you can get the 7 kits available from the quests and 300 tasks, and the remaining 2 from the end of town boxes. As mentioned earlier, there is roughly an 18% chance to see that upgrade, and math says that with 10 towns, you've got a roughly 55% chance to get those 2 upgrades. If you want to be a little bit more certain, you can just play an extra town and you'll bring that up to a 61% chance. Buy the full set of boxes when you see the Goldsmith upgrade, and 2 other times you can buy the full set as well, which will also have the benefit of giving you 2 level 2 Clover Keeps. The drawback of the strategy is that you do miss out on both the allies, though you can get Alexander with an extra town, you don't complete all the fragments for the next Eternal Market kit, and you do not get the upgrades for the Celtic Farmstead. The strategy that I will be playing is the Clover Keep Ruins strategy. All you've got to do is play 8 towns super slowly, using only level 1 managers, and then buy the full set of chests after each town. This will give you a total of 4 level 2 Clover Keep Ruins, which is a pretty nice bounty for such a low amount of work. The drawback is that you get very little else. No allies, no Eternal Market, and a 1 out of 160 chance to get all the upgrades needed for the Goldsmith. Completing this strategy will require a bit of thought, however. You have to restrain yourself from spending too many boosters outside of the mini challenges, where you will need to use all the quick promos at your disposal to get your managers high enough to complete the tasks needed. If you want to be 100% guaranteed to get the Celtic Goldsmith fully leveled, I've got just the thing. The creatively named Guaranteed Goldsmith strategy. I'm good at this. This one takes 16 towns and 3 extra tasks from the 17th town, which is starting to get up there a bit in terms of time to play the minigame. This also secures you all the Eternal Market fragments and both of the rare historical allies when you complete the mini challenges, with the only drawback here being that you only get the silver upgrade for the Celtic Farmstead. You also should have enough pots of gold to open 2 full sets of end of town chests if you wish, which will get you a single level 2 Clover Keep Ruin. Our final strategy is where we get the fully leveled Platinum Celtic Farmstead, where you will need to complete 19 towns to reach that Platinum upgrade at 575 tasks. If you're going for this strategy, don't buy any boxes and try to get through towns as quickly as possible. You'll have to be averaging pretty close to 1 per day to get all the towns you need. Of course, these strategies don't answer how to actually play the towns themselves. Instead, I've got a spreadsheet for that. You simply pick the town you're on and check off the tasks as you complete them. Recommendations for how to level buildings and managers are included. If you're going for a strategy playing more than 9 to 10 towns, I recommend using the Town 1, Town 2, and Town 3 task lists. But if you're going for the Clover Keeps, use the Clover Strat task lists. If you don't know what town you're on, you can find out by inputting your current tasks into the aptly named tool, and it'll tell you. The spreadsheet also includes a tool for tracking whether you're on schedule for completing towns based on the amount you wish to complete. All the strategies we just discussed can also be found in that spreadsheet. I highly recommend checking it out. A link to copy this spreadsheet is in the description below. You will need to make a separate copy for each world you play the event on. The best part is that it does work on both browser and mobile, so no matter how you play the game, you can use the spreadsheet. It's designed specifically so that you can put it to the side of the screen and focus on the game. I made a video covering all the tools in the spreadsheet for last year's St. Patrick's Day event, and most of that holds true for this event. I'll link that video in the spreadsheet and down below. In case you don't want to use the awesome interactive spreadsheet of awesomeness, I've made a static, boring version of the spreadsheet. It's also linked below. The one thing I do want to mention is that there always seems to be confusion with the spreadsheet as to the difference between the first town and Town 1 task lists. The first town you play in this event is different from all the others. Instead of needing 8.4 quadrillion shamrocks to progress to the next town, you only need 1 million. That means you can leave the town early instead of playing it like a full town normally would be played. The first town task list contains my recommended way to play if you wish to play it as a shorter town, which I do recommend as it saves on pots of gold. In short, play the first town task list when you start the event, after which you proceed to either Town 2 if you're going for one of the higher town strategies, or the Clover Strat task list if you're going for the Clover Keep Ruins. Let's move on a bit from spreadsheets and talk about the third spreadsheet of this event. Who doesn't love spreadsheets? I've put the mini challenges in their own sheet as I won't be able to update them if I put them in the main spreadsheet. It is of course linked below in the description that is becoming rapidly crowded. The first mini challenge isn't too bad. You can complete it and come away with an extra 1,000 pots of gold on top of several boosters and other rewards. The main reward of this one is completing all the fragments for Alexander. The second mini challenge is where things start to get tricky. The quests at multiples of 8 require you to use or buy 4 8-hour time skips, or a large amount of 2-hour time skips. You can use the time warp boosters to fulfill the 2-hour time skips, and you get a lot of those boosters from the mini challenges themselves. If you complete both mini challenges and only spend your time warps for the challenge quests that require you to, you'll need to spend 700 pots of gold on one of the quests asking you to purchase a 4-hour time skip. You'll have enough time warp boosters to complete all the other quests. And as each mini challenge gives you 1,000 pots of gold, if you complete both, you come out on top with a positive 1,300 net pots of gold and all the rewards contained in these two challenges. I highly recommend you complete both mini challenges for every strategy save the easy Clover Keep ones. Just make sure that when you're playing your towns, you leave enough of a buffer to be able to complete towns during the mini challenges. For example, for the cheap Goldsmith strategy, don't rush those 10 towns early in the event and get stuck when the second mini challenge rolls around. If you plan on spending during this event, try to do so by spreading out your spend. For example, instead of rushing one town with pots of gold, upgrade your managers a bit more in multiple towns. It's all about consistent play, whether or not you are spending money. If you try to rush everything at the end, you'll wind up spending a lot more for fewer rewards. And that's all for what's turned out to be a very long video, so thank you if you've made it this far. Don't forget to check out all the resources linked in the description and to enter the giveaway. Join my Discord server to discuss the event and strategies, and as always, I'll see you all next time. Hopefully with a shorter video, but I'll still see you next time.